Cousins first down, going deep for Diggs. He makes the catch. Stephon Diggs, touchdown.
Get a f***ing corner. Like, y'all, get a f***ing corner. Like, I'm listening to the game on the radio. They just scored.
Play action. Cousins, Diggs. He's got it. Touchdown.
How hard is it to get a corner?
Play action. Cousins to the end zone. It is Diggs. His third touchdown today.
What the f*** y'all doing? Like, how hard is it to get a corner?
I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
What's happening, everybody? This is the Philly Experience Podcast alongside Chris Sacker and Tyler Hood. I'm your host, Max James. Tanner not in studio today. We'll be back next week. But guys, obviously it's always great to be with you. We have a lot to get to today. Eagles come off a tough loss. It was a game for about 3 quarters, and then the Vikings just took off in that fourth quarter. And I tell you what, Stephon Diggs burned us, and the outcome is not what we wanted. It's certainly not what we expected, and we'll get into that very quickly to start the show. I also want to touch on the Flyers, and they're interesting and pretty solid start to the season. And then also talk about Gabe and him finally getting fired after about 2 weeks of the back and forth of the decision-making process with McPhail and all the guys. So we'll touch on that as well. But
it's about damn time.
Here we go. First, let's get into the Eagles, guys. This game, the game did not go as we expected. Dalvin Cook probably coming in was our main focus, and we pretty much did a good job. I mean, he did get in the end zone, but we did a good job as far as limiting him to a low amount of rushing yards. So obviously, Thielen and Diggs torched us,
Max,
and we expected that. I mean, we did expect that too.
Max, let's break this down position by position, and we're gonna start with the offense.
All right, go ahead.
First off, I have to get this out the way just in case. People listening on the road, people who's going to be listening to this after the recording, you might want to turn your volumes down.
I am pissed off.
Oh boy. I am livid right now. I am so pissed right now. It's not even funny. All right? I kid you not. I've been listening to sports radio since the game. And if I hear another analyst, if I hear another fan say that Carson Wentz isn't doing his job, I'm going to flip a lid. I kid you not. You want that man to throw the football? You want that man to block? You want that man to catch, tackle, intercept? What else do you want that man to do? Hold on. Let's bring up the stats. Our stat guy Tanner's under the weather. So I brought up these stats real quick. Okay. Wentz against one of the top defenses in the NFL. 26 for 40 yards, 306 yards, 2 TDs, and 1 interception.
And that interception, I don't really count. I mean, that was towards the end of the game, and it was kind of forced in. He was trying to make a play.
No, that was Dallas Goedert not doing his job.
Well, yeah, you could look at it that way, too.
You are a bigger body against a corner. Do your job and box out.
I mean,
you didn't even make an effort to stop that ball from going into his hands. Okay. Where is the stinking effort on this team?
Well, let's look at some positives.
Yeah, okay.
What positives? All right, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right.
We're tied right now with Dallas. They're on a 3-game losing streak as well.
Deshaun is scheduled to come back.
Scheduled, but not official.
I know it's not official. We're trying to be positive here, too.
And you know what? I got some positivity.
Okay, good.
Positivity and negativity. Because here's sick. Here's the sick part. Okay, Max, I'm gonna let you know right now. You were right about Miles Sanders. He's a talented back. And I think he's starting to find a niche in this offense. But here's the one thing that's starting to piss me off. Last 6 games of plays that we've had 25-plus yards. Guess who's been the only player?
Miles Sanders.
Getting 25-plus yards on passing plays.
Alshon Jeffrey?
No.
You kidding me, right?
Miles.
Alshon Jeffrey had a solid game 2 days ago.
No. 25-plus yards on one play.
25-plus passing yards to a certain player.
Deshaun, isn't it Deshaun?
Well, last 6 games.
The last 6 games. Okay, I'm assuming it's got to be a running back then because you guys are making it sound like the receivers are horrible. So I'm going to either say Jordan Howard or Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. Rookie. A rookie.
Well,
not a stinking receiver. Not our second-round pick who was hardly seeing the field. Not Mac Hollins. But a rookie receiver. But a rookie running back.
Well, I feel like a couple weeks ago when we were arguing about Miles Sanders, we weren't saying he's bad. I don't think that's what we were going for. Look, we all know he's talented, and hell, you're right. He is the only, other than Deshaun, the only player that has had a 25-plus yard receiving catch upfield. I'm sorry, I'm tired. But hey, I'm hoping, because without Deshaun, this just looks like the offense that we saw last year, which was very one-dimensional, not effective. Of course, the running game is more effective than it was last year.
I'm not finished going off.
But hopefully with Deshaun returning soon, that can turn around. Oh, T, you look very angry. What's wrong
I am not finished going off. Oh, this is just the beginning.
What else?
Wide receivers.
Okay.
Bro, what the heck? Where are the big plays from the receivers? Why are there no downfield plays for the receivers?
We don't have any option. We don't have any speed threat.
Nelson Aguilar stinks.
He's not good, first of all, and second of all, with Deshaun Jackson out, he's our only speed threat.
He is, and
Alshon's just slow, man. He's slow.
Ertz just looks slow too.
They're not speed guys. They're go up and get it.
And that's the thing.
They can't outrun the corners. So
that's the thing. Use that athleticism. Use your athleticism. These guys are supposed to have some of the best hands in the NFL. I don't see it. I
thought that Alshon had a good game on Sunday.
He did.
Watching it, I think he had like 10 catches, to be honest with you.
But I'm seeing some real unorthodox things happening. I'm not used to seeing Zach Ertz dropping passes. Dallas Goedert got the drops too.
Yeah, and Miles Sanders out of nowhere with that like 30-yard touchdown pass, which you don't expect. Now here's the thing with Sanders. He's not a better runner, I don't think, than Howard is. I think Howard, as far as, up the gut type of guy, is good for us. The ground and pound type of style. But Sanders could develop into that Tariq Cohen type of role. Pass catcher, can line up out of the slot, gadget, get him on the edge, on the end around type of plays. You got to use his skill set to your advantage, and I feel like if he gets more touches on the outside and things like that, even maybe put him in punt return. Listen, Sproles is out again 2 days ago.
And I agree with that. I completely agree with you. But here's the thing, and now I'm going to attack the offensive coaching staff. Oh my gosh, I miss Frank Wright. I miss John DeFilippo. I do, because there's no different play design. Okay, that's fine that your tight ends are your best catchers in this situation with Deshaun Jackson being out. So you're going to run a little bit more 12 personnel. That's fine. You might even play around with some 11 personnel. That's fine. But all throughout training camp, I kept hearing how they were running 21 personnel. For those of you who don't know what 21 personnel is, that's 2 running backs on the field, 1 tight end. All right? Our best offensive assets at this point with Deshaun Jackson being out is Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders. Call some mismatches. All right? You don't know what the heck's going to happen as a defense when you have Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard out there on the field. Why am I not seeing that variation? Well, where is the creativity?
Let's factor in it. Let's put this in here. All right. First of all, we go on the road, right? Minnesota, on paper, is probably a better team than we are, and they also.
I'm not arguing that.
And they also had an advantage. I felt like the refs really played a role.
No, I'm not using that as an excuse.
No,
don't you go there.
You didn't see their purple T-shirts under their shirts?
Don't you go there.
Okay.
I'm not using that as an excuse.
I'm not saying
that was a piss poor effort on Sunday.
But again, we were flat out just handled by the better team. And listen, I think everybody out there who wants to go out there and get Jalen Ramsey. Listen, if we go out and get Jalen Ramsey, does that really make us a Super Bowl contender?
It doesn't.
We're gonna get to that later. We're gonna get to that later.
But again, let's go. I want to talk about some Howie Roseman too.
We're gonna get to him. Yeah, we're gonna get to him later too.
As far as this whole Wentz thing goes, I can't. People are blaming Carson Wentz. Listen, his guys are not helping him out at all. The offensive line's beat up and all.
You know what?
His playmakers aren't talented. I mean, let's say we do get Deshaun Jackson back. I mean, yeah, it'll make a difference. But at the same time, if the other guys aren't catching, if the other guys aren't getting open, it's not going to matter.
I'm glad you brought up the offense. I'm glad you brought up the offensive line because, T, I wanted to ask you something. Why does it look like every time I watch Andre Dillard, it looks like he's getting run over?
Let me explain something to you. Let me explain.
Our first
Why is he getting run over?
Let me explain something to y'all right now. All right, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's going on. in practice during the weeks. For the most part, the starters are the only ones that's getting practice time. The backups may come in for a series or two, but it's not too often that the backups really get any practice. You know why Andre Dillard is on his ass? Because he's not getting any reps in practice. I'm sorry, Max, you are absolutely correct. I love Jason Peters. I love him to death. My favorite current Eagle. I love him. I would love nothing more than to see him retire in that midnight green. But doggone it, I think it's time to bench Jason Peters. I think it's time. The in and out, the injuries, the little injuries, there's no prep work for the rookie, okay? Listen, every edge rusher has his own set of moves, all right? Everson Griffin is very, very, very powerful with his hands. Very violent hands, very strong upper body strength. You cannot prepare for that when you're just looking at film and you're not getting the reps practicing in practice.
I agree 100%.
At this point, I think it's time for Jason Peters to finally take that knee. I think we need to go back to the old Yeller story and put Jason Peters out of his misery. I'm sorry. That sounds cruel. I love Jason Peters, but doggone it, it's time for Andre Dillard to man that left tackle position.
Look, he's a professional football player.
I understand that.
And I understand he's a rookie, but I feel like that's just poor management of your rookie talent. I mean, I don't know if it's correct or not, but why would you... let's say it is true. Why would you not give him reps?
You don't give him reps because you're trying to get the starters ready, not the backups. You're not going to go into practice into a game assuming that your starters are going to get hurt.
Look, I know you want an old Yeller Jason Peters, but the Eagles are not going to do that.
I know.
But he is also an ankle tweak away
It's an outrage.
Andre Dillard starting for the rest of the season.
And that's my point. That is my exact point.
So, I don't know. If that is true, what you said, he's not getting any practice time.
I'm not going to say he's not going to get any, but it's very little.
That just seems so irresponsible.
Listen, I told everybody before the season started, Jason Peters should not be on this team. I did agree and say that Sproles should be back, but at that time I thought he was healthy, and he's flat out not.
No,
he's not even playing in the games. He missed the game obviously 2 days ago.
He's not even in offensive plays anymore.
Yeah. So, and he started out week 1. Didn't he get like 10 carries in week 1?
Yeah,
I said from the minute Darren Sproles was signed, I said that is not a good idea. You should just let Darren Sproles go. Now he's taking up an entire roster spot, and now Corey Clement is on IR.
Listen, I figured that with the talent, everybody talked about the depth that we had. I figured that wouldn't matter. It's good to have a guy that's a veteran presence back there, only to return punts. I didn't want him incorporated into the offense, and now he's hurt. That was a waste of like $4 million. Peters is a waste of $13 million, and people are saying Brandon Graham's having a good season. Oh yeah, against the Jets he can get to the quarterback. But he still is. He can't get to Kirk Cousins. Maybe he got there once yesterday or 2 days ago.
To finish up my offensive points, and then we're going to talk about this sorry excuse with 11 personnel that we call it defense. There is no offensive creative play design. Okay, I don't know how involved Mike Groh is with preparation during the week, but compared to Frank Reich and how we played when Frank Reich was our offensive coordinator, there's a huge difference. There is a visible, huge difference.
I think you got to give Howard all of the carries and have Sanders come in maybe for a third down and really any passing work.
Or how about putting them both in the backfield? Having them both on the field at the same time.
I just feel like if you only have one of them out there, Sanders can't pass block because of how small he is. And he gets when he runs, he gets tackled immediately.
Let me tell you about Miles
He can't get away from people. He can't get away from people. And how is he? He can't block. The linebacker's coming at him. Anthony Barr is coming right at him.
You're correct in the fact that he has yet to learn how to dodge tacklers in the open.
Jordan Howard's a better pass blocker.
You are correct. No, in terms of pass blocking, Miles Sanders has been putting people on their ass, including linebackers. Miles Sanders is a hell of a pass blocker.
So you know better than I would because you watched the film, so I can't argue here. But from what I'm saying, as far as stature, I felt like Jordan Howard would be a better option back there.
Stature, yes. Now, in terms of pass blocking, they are both equal, but Miles Sanders can hold.
Let me ask you this question. All right. So Miles Sanders is a good pass blocker, like you're saying to me right now. Why is it that he can block Anthony Barr and linebackers like that when he can't even escape a single arm tackle on the outside?
It's different because look at it like this.
That's a good question.
Look at it like this.
Answer that question.
When you're growing up, all right, 18 to 21, 22-year-old, your body is still
Miles Sanders.
Your body is still growing. You still haven't grown into your body yet. You're going up against grown-ass men in the NFL who's been strength training for 5+ years, who has the strength to hold up against 300+ pounders, who benches 500+ pounds every day.
I don't know about that.
It's different. You're going up against grown men. Miles Sanders is still a baby, still trying to develop. He has yet to develop balance yet. He has yet to develop his strength yet. All those things are going to come in due time should he put in the work.
I 100% agree, but still the question is still out there. How is he able to block this humongous linebackers that are coming blitzing right up the gut?
Technique.
And he can't.
Technique. What we were always taught in blocking period. Your pad level has to come lower than the guy that's coming at you. That's number one. Number two, he's putting the crown of his head right to the chin of the defenders coming in. Man, you feel that impact from a plastic helmet, boom, on your ground.
Well, he better learn how to break off the one-arm tackles on the outside.
I think he will, but that's going to take time. It's very rare a running back will come in and be able to break arm tackles. Shady didn't do it in his rookie year.
Let me take you back to the Packers game a couple weeks ago. What play changed that game? The Miles Sanders return.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? The Miles Sanders return.
He had wide open lanes.
You have to get him going in different ways. Get him back there. Darren Sproles is no longer here. Let's just factor that in right now. You're never going to see him again. Let's put Miles Sanders back there and get him going to help this team out in different ways besides just getting a handoff and taking it for 2 yards.
This ain't nothing but some old bull.
You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. You got to try different things because, listen, this is the personnel we have. We're not going to magically get in here and all of a sudden we have Zeke on our team. And, this is who we have. We have to find out ways to work. And it doesn't get any easier next week
I agree
when we
with
go
you.
to Dallas.
Now, let's move on to the sorriest sacks up I have ever seen in my life. This entire defensive unit pisses me off. And y'all know why. Y'all know I'm a defensive player. You know what, Max? Let me explain something to you before I break this down position by position. And I showed Chris this morning.
Oh, boy.
That second Stephon Diggs touchdown, and I'm going to show you after the show. Take a guess how many players were on the field during that touchdown.
Oh, jeez. Really, we were short 10. I'll go 10.
There was no deep safety. 10 freaking players!
Okay. Yeah, there were only 10 players on the team.
There was only 10 players on the field?
Yeah,
10!
On the team. Field, yes. I meant field.
All right.
I am pissed off.
He showed me, too.
Well, listen, any D-back we have on our team, I mean, Diggs is just going to blow right past.
Well, because if you look at that play, I remember the first time watching that play, I'm going, Russell Douglas, what are you doing? Because
he was expecting safety
Russell
help.
Douglas just started going like this, and all I'm
gonna tell you why.
backpedaling, and then he's 10 yards past me already.
Yeah, exactly. Because
let Chris explain it to you.
Stephon goes around Rasul. Rasul is still standing there. I'm like, Rasul, Stephon Diggs just burned you. What are you doing? And I just remember thinking, what is he doing? I'm sick of you. And so T very eloquently explained it to me with absolute censorship this morning that
I'm not putting up with it. It's too much horse shit. It's too much.
Rasul was expecting safety help, but apparently the safeties were up.
Where's the damn safety?
And Rasul Douglas did not have no safety help. And
let's be honest, even if there was safety help, Diggs will just blow by him.
But still.
What is Rodney McLeod going to come out of nowhere?
Rasul Douglas knew. He knows he can't keep up with Stephon Diggs.
Nobody can keep up with Stephon Diggs.
I'm not going to say that.
Maybe Darius Slay, maybe Jalen.
But that's the reason why he was kind of backpedaling a little bit. Because, yes, he was going slow because he expected safety help and didn't get it. That's the issue. 10 players on the stinking field. Rodney McLeod was in the box.
Well, we got rid of Zach Brown, too. You want to talk about some linebackers?
We're going to talk about that later.
Okay.
Let me get to this defensive line. This piss poor of a defensive line. Get it to Kirk Cousins. One stinking time. Brandon Graham has the only sack.
Fletcher Cox is not himself. We can't.
Because Fletcher Cox is playing 80+% of the doggone snap.
I think he's hurt. I think he's hurt. I don't think he has a sack this year, and that's just not like him.
He doesn't, but that's because he's out there for most of the plays because of the lack of depth at defensive tackle.
Yeah, that's true as well. Timmy Jernigan's out, and we lost Malik Jackson early on in the season, which has hurt us too.
Oh my God.
Now let's move on.
Those are two good points.
Now let's move on to these piss poor defensive ends. Derek Barnett. I am about a couple weeks away from calling him a bust. I am. I have never seen a defensive end that bites hard on play actions. Oh my goodness! Your job as an edge rusher, an edge defender. I don't care if you play outside linebacker. I don't care if you play defensive end. Stay your ass to the outside. Nothing is supposed to go outside you. Do you know the reason why these reverses are working? Why these play action passes work? Why? Because the defensive end keeps crashing in and biting on everything. When that one play action pass that Kirk Cousins threw to Stephon Diggs, I believe it was the third touchdown on that play action. If the defensive end, Derek Barnett, if he just stays home, don't follow the play, stay to the edge, stay home, you would have seen Kirk Cousins and you would have had a beeline to him. And Kirk Cousins would have been scared and probably threw up a duck.
I just want to address that. I don't know if Derek Barnett's a bust. Look, I understand 17 picks later you could have picked TJ Watt. But
that would have helped.
You could have traded down, got more draft picks, and would have had a better pass rusher.
Perhaps, but I still classify Derek Barnett as a younger player. I know he's supposed to be. I mean, he's more seasoned. Obviously, was this his second or third? Third.
Yeah, it's his third.
Third season. Yeah. I feel like I understand what you're saying at the same time because we are biting on everything, but I don't know about.
Here's the thing: in this day and age, you have to have a rotation of players. Our defense of line was so good 2 years ago because we had 8 guys that could come in and play the position well. Chris Long is no longer here. Timmy Jernigan's not here right now because he's banged up and he's hurt. You also.
Oh, by the way,
go ahead.
You, Max, Vinny Curry, yo, he ain't.
Jesus.
All right?
Yeah.
He
I did say Vinny. I did say Vinny Curry was going to.
He was effective the 2017 year. He was effective.
I thought that's what made me think he was going to come back, and I had confidence in his ability. I had confidence in his ability. That's why I thought he was going to come in and step up this season. However, on the other hand, he's taken a big decline down the hill. So, obviously frustrating. But this is the problem here. And let's be realistic about the situation we're in. We don't have the depth on the defensive line to get to the quarterback. Our linebackers are non-existent. Nigel Bradham's hurt, and he's our only one, really, that's any sort of talented whatsoever. Yeah. And our secondary is the worst in football. And Malcolm Jenkins also is another guy. He wants to get paid all this money. And he's old, man. He's looking old. I mean, I get it. He's the team leader. He's been there for a while, and he has been very talented. But again, he really hasn't shown me much this season.
To me, he's been invisible this year.
Yes.
Since we want to talk about the linebackers, real quick. Zach Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You dumbass.
You pissed off Kirk Cousins by opening your big fat mouth. He throws for over 400 yards, and guess what? Now you want to eat crow in a press conference and not want to talk about what you said? No. Let me tell you something, and this goes for players and everybody else. Whatever you do, okay? You better make sure that your mouth can cash the checks that you're going to write.
For the listeners who may not know, what did Zach Brown say?
Zach Brown basically said that Kirk Cousins was... No, he didn't basically. He straight up said Kirk Cousins was the weakest link
of the
on the Redskins offense when he was playing for the Redskins.
When he was playing for the Redskins.
All right, listen. Let me relay this. Go ahead.
But no, I thought he was referring to the Vikings. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Either way, he called him the weakest link.
The weakest link, yes. And that they want to keep the ball out of Dalvin Cook's hands and keep it in Kirk Cousins' hands.
Yep.
What happened?
You seen what happened.
Oh, yeah, I did. I forgot.
This is what needs to happen. This is only my opinion, obviously. I think this game on Sunday night is going to tell us a lot about this team, right? Okay, we're tied for the division lead right now. If we lose this game, I think that we really have to reassess
this ain't nothing but some old bull.
How we're going to go about the future, all right? If we win this game, then I may go out there and look to find a defensive back of some sort or a linebacker of some sort in a trade.
And
right? Because hold on.
No,
Because if you go to 4-3 and take the division lead, you can't just give up. I know we may not have the talent to compete in the playoffs this year and have a deep run. But if you're 4-3 and have that division lead over Dallas, especially beating them once on the road already, you have to kind of go for the division win at that point. But if we lose this game on Sunday and Dallas goes up, they get Amari Cooper back and they go up a game in the division, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, this might not be our year.
Nah.
It just flat out might not be our year. There's better teams. And we're not even talking out of the conference or out of the division. Or you got San Francisco, you got Seattle. The Rams haven't been playing great, but they're still the Rams. Green Bay looks good. Hell, Detroit looks good.
Man.
Minnesota just beat us. So we really have to reassess how we are and where we stand. We all know that one trade's not going to put us over the top, but we really do need to find D-backs. And again, this is about acquiring assets. I'm not saying we're going to go into full tank mode here.
Look,
but we really need to because listen, we have multiple positions to address. All right, it's not just one cornerback or one position. It's multiple corners, it's multiple linebackers, and we need some sort of depth at D line. So it's like 6 or 7 players right
I'm
there.
going to follow up on that.
6 or 7
I'm
players.
going to follow up on that statement.
And listen, that's only on defense, but that's 6 or 7 guys that we need to fill that have to be talented on defense.
I agree with you that this coming game is really a huge turning point for the season as far as the outlook on the rest of the season. If we lose to the team that lost to the team that we absolutely killed last week,
no, listen, we should lose this
problem.
game. We should lose this game. We're underdogs. We're going on the road. Amari Cooper could be back. Remember, he missed last
know what the hell
He
he's doing.
missed against the Jets. He missed that game.
I know, but that is still a more talented team than the New York Jets.
I agree with you.
But
Darnold coming back, I don't know. It's like almost like Minshew in week 2 or 3 or whatever. The team just seems to rise up behind him, and they really just play well, especially with Darnold back. Jameson Crowder looked like a different player. He had 10 catches week 1, and then Darnold went out for a couple games, and then Darnold comes back, and Crowder has 6 catches for like 100 yards.
Let's real quick. Let's go back on the Zach Brown thing because a lot of people are being misconstrued, thinking that his comments were the reason why he got cut. That was just the icing on the cake.
I agree 100%. The whole foundation he had underneath of that icing was horrible.
For the people who really paid attention to how Zach Brown's been playing this season, all right, he's played like crap. He does not shed well off of blocks. He's missed assignments. He's over-pursued. He's been in the wrong gaps way too many times. He's lackadaisical on hustle and big plays down the field. He just walks and jogs. I remember one play on Sunday where he just straight up, I forgot what running back went to the house. It might have been Dalvin Cook. He's going to the outside, and he's just, jogging along while Rodney McLeod trying to force him outside. And Rodney McLeod couldn't force him outside for a good 3 seconds. He's just jogging, all lackadaisical. Oh, I'm here. No! Hustle! Do your freaking job!
Oh, I'm here. Like he's walking on a beach.
God!
That's funny.
This ain't nothing but some old bull.
All right, T, we understand the frustration. Believe me, I get it. Now, listen, I want to talk about Howie Roseman, which we have not brought up yet.
oh yeah,
Let's think about everything he's done. Right? Wins the Super Bowl. And this goes for Doug, too, who had a couple comments that were interesting earlier this week. But how he assembled this team, you have to know. And listen, I just want to relate this to the Phillies. Klentak knows we don't have the pitching. Howie knew we don't have the D-backs, and nothing was done about it. He re-signs Peters for $13 million. $13 million. You draft the future left tackle, and he's literally a bench player. You draft Arcega-Whiteside in the second round, and we don't need receivers. Why is he drafting receivers?
Here's the thing.
We didn't need a running back. We traded for Jordan Howard. What the hell is up with him and his decision making?
we needed a running game.
Here's the thing with
We traded for Jordan Howard. If we didn't have Sanders right now, our running game would still be pretty efficient.
Here's the thing with Andre Dillard. They drafted him, yes, for the future. Here's the thing. Once he drafts them, at that point, it's up to the coaches to decide what they're going to do with him.
You don't take a 24th or 26th overall pick
agree with
and
you.
put him in at left. You put him right in there. He's a goddamn left tackle.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. 100% I agree with you. Especially because for the last couple of years, Jason Peters has been in and out the lineup.
Just a horrible, horrible decision, man. We could have taken that $13 million, gave it to Clowney, and we would have had a pass rusher.
Hey, Matt, and let me piss you off even more.
This will piss you off.
I went back and looked at the 2017 draft. All right? We picked Derek Barnett in the first round. We could have traded back and gotten TJ Watt. We discussed that. So, in the second round, 43rd overall, we picked Sidney Jones. Let's see. Let's go down the list real quick of players who in the second round who were drafted after Sidney Jones. Do you know who got picked in the second round, 62 overall, by the Pittsburgh Steelers? Juju Smith-Schuster.
Look, I mean, it's not the same position, but...
Not the same position, but we could have had an impact player at the receiver position.
People
and we wouldn't be struggling with the receiver position.
People probably don't like to take receivers in the first round. At this point, I'm sick of hearing about all the talk, all the Mike Mayocks back when he was an analyst. Oh, this guy's got a good motor. Oh, this guy's got good potential. I'm watching every college game on Saturdays, right? And I'm a college football guy. I see the good players. It's pretty damn simple to see who's good and who's not good. I mean, listen, Tua Tagovailoa.
I think you should share
Jerry Jeudy for the wide receiver from Alabama. What is he going to suck in the NFL? He's an absolute monster. You go out there and draft him.
I think you should continue.
Oh, I'm going to continue.
Because there are more.
Oh, yes, it gets worse. Okay, Russell Douglas, we're going to give him a pass.
Oh, jeez.
We're going to get... He's the only decent corner that we have.
Good corner we have.
If you put him in the right scheme, if you put Russell Douglas in the right scheme,
okay,
which we will get to later.
Take that back. He's not our only good corner. He's our only effective corner.
Yeah,
I think he's like a good fourth corner on our team.
Ooh.
If we had like a solid team altogether. 2017,
same draft, fourth round, Matt Collins. Guess who gets picked? One pick after that, Tariq Cohen.
Matt Collins. How is he still on this team? Matt Collins has one moment in the Eagles uniform. That one bomb that went through to him 2 years ago. That's all he's had in the Eagles uniform. Only moments he's had.
Yeah.
One moment.
Oh, let's get better. Remember when we drafted Donnell Pumphrey in the same round after that? Dude. Guess who got drafted second to last in the fourth round, 143rd overall?
Kamara.
Marlon Mack.
Wow.
That's pretty bad.
I could use some Marlon Mack.
The draft history is horrible.
Wait,
and this is just one draft.
Wasn't there one more you wanted to share with us?
Oh, this is with Joe Douglas as well, so I don't want to hear the whole fact that Joe Douglas too.
Because
he's left.
Joe Douglas was supposed to be brought in here to help Howie Roseman in drafting players, because apparently drafting players isn't Howie Roseman's strength.
Exactly.
Fine. But apparently Joe Douglas can't draft either.
Look at the guy. He cut that Jordan Polite, that defensive end out of Florida. He was a first-round pick. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. And the Jets cut him flat out. Maybe he was a third rounder. I forget. I saw it in the news. But this is
brutal. This is brutal.
And now everybody's looking at Doug and everybody's looking at Wentz, and it's like, do something. There's not much you can do.
Max, once upon a time in the summer, we were talking about this team being a Super Bowl contender. And now...
Once upon a time, back in 2017...
We won the Super Bowl.
We were good. Everything was going well.
We had an effective offense without really a deep threat. Granted,
I really wish I paid attention more to the film aspect of things, because going as an Eagles fan, going into week 6, 7, 8 in the future, I know that we're going to give up about 40 points a game. So I don't even look at the defensive aspect and say, oh, like Zach Brown missed a block, like Zach Brown missed a tackle. Everybody's going to miss something because we're giving up 1 billion points a game. I just focus on the offense, and this is the problem. The offense was supposed to be the good part of our team, and they're struggling like hell. Our offensive line's old and banged up. Our quarterback doesn't have any time in the pocket. His receivers can't catch the football. They can't get open either.
Hey, guess
Ertz,
what?
Where's Ertz?
Hey, guess what?
He's the best tight end or second best. Where is he?
You want to bring up receivers, right? You want to bring up receivers. You know the one thing that our receivers are supposed to do, but they don't? Where's the doggone 50-50 balls that they're supposed to catch? They're not catching those. They're dropping them. And listen, all right, while you play around with your microphone, let me bring this stat up real quick. So, here's the crazy part. Let's go back to the 2016 draft.
Say something.
Let's go. Yeah, say something. Go ahead.
Continue.
All right.
Oh, crap.
Let's go back to the 2016 draft.
Go to the other mic.
Let's go back to the 2016 draft.
Yeah.
Halapoulivaati Vaitai was drafted in the 5th round along with Wendell Smallwood. Okay? And I believe Halapoulivaati Vaitai was the last pick in the 5th round. Guess who gets picked? One pick after Vaitai.
Who?
Tyreek Hill.
Wow, we could use Tyreek Hill.
The one thing that we don't have on this offense to spread the field.
I just have one question for you. How many Super Bowls does Tyreek Hill have?
That's not the point. How many more Super Bowls will we have with Tyreek Hill?
That's good. Okay, that's a good point.
And by the way, comes back from an injury and apparently can grab a 50-50 ball at 5'9" than any of our 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" receivers.
He's making another great point. That's all true.
You're pretty lucky to have him on fantasy.
That's all true. But here's the problem. How do we solve?
I don't give a damn about fantasy.
How do we solve these issues going forward? So the first step is to gather assets because our defense as a whole. I don't want to hear about the injuries. Look, what Cravion LeBlanc's going to come back. Ooh, Cravion LeBlanc's going to come back.
If I have somebody welcome to me and say that, Jalen Mills is going to save this defense, I kid you not, I'm going to slap you.
Yeah,
I'm going to slap you.
Like we need to gather assets.
So, okay, say, God forbid, knock on wood, we lose this game on Sunday. Is that, hey, we got a tank time?
Tank? I wouldn't say that.
No.
I would not say tank. But I will say this. We better make some damn trades and gather some assets. I would look to trade some players.
Better start calling.
We have Goddard and Ertz. I would look to possibly trade Zach Ertz.
You know what's crazy?
He's not having this good season.
You know what's crazy? We laughed at the idea of trading Zach Ertz in the beginning. Yeah, if you lose on Sunday,
Dallas Goedert's going to be
You're just going to go Dallas
We
Goedert?
could get maybe a second I don't know if we could first for him, but we could get a second round pick for Ertz.
We should get a first for Ertz.
You think we should get a first round pick for Ertz?
As crazy as this sound, and I don't want to sound too extreme because that's not the type of show that we want to do, but you're going to have to consider giving up some sort of asset to make this team competitive. Make this team competable again.
I think Ertz is a good player.
You guys are all absolutely correct in the fact that one corner is not going to change this team. But let's look at it from a schematic standpoint of view. Jim Schwartz, who I truly is the ire of my anger at this point, plays one safety high all the time. He likes to keep that one safety inside to help stop the run. If you have one shutdown corner on one side, that deep safety can now only has to be concerned with one side of the field because the other side of the field has a lockdown defender on that side.
I agree.
So everybody keeps saying one corner isn't going to help. You're absolutely correct because the issues are more than just the players.
It's going to help. Don't get me wrong. It's going to help, but it's not going to take us to what we thought we were.
No, it's not going to take us over yonder.
Yes.
But it's going to help out tremendously because remember, at the end of the day, we still don't have no freaking pass rush. And that's another thing. I don't know who the defensive line coach is, but he got to get fired. Because
what are you saying out of the defensive line coach?
If you notice, look how everybody else plays defense around the NFL. Look how players use their hands. Different pass rush moves on every play. What do we do all the time? We bull rush. We collapse the pocket all the time. All four players. Nobody is using an array of moves. Nobody's using speed moves. Nobody uses their hands. Everybody just bull rushes.
I mean,
here's what we have to do. I'll tell you what we have to do in order to win these games. If Amari Cooper plays on Sunday, you double team the hell out of him. I don't want to hear any zone coverage or shadow coverage.
You know that's not going to happen.
No, you do it, man. He's the one guy that can beat you on that offense. Michael Gallup's going to beat us? Because that guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's good, but I don't. I mean, I'm not like, oh my God, Michael Gallup, Randall Cobb. Like, those guys we can handle, in my opinion. But
you sure
Amari Cooper?
You sure about that?
I'm not sure about it, but we have a better chance of stopping them one-on-one than we do with Amari Cooper.
Max, you can go out there and hit a double move right now in any one of these corners, and you'll burn them. That's how bad.
Man.
I'm trying to make good out of a tough situation here.
You can try. Go ahead.
You double team Amari Cooper if he plays. You stack the box against Zeke, and then you leave your other guys one-on-one with the other receivers, you live and die.
As much as I hope that happens, I don't think it is.
No.
That's what you do. You stack the box on Zeke.
Look,
you try to get some pass rush on Dak, and you double team Amari Cooper.
Think about this coaching staff.
Yes. I want this entire defensive coaching staff gone. I want even the guys that bring them coffee in the morning gone.
Listen,
I want that room
we see what's
clear.
happening here. We understand what's happening here. We can't get
do
any
they
pass
put
rush.
Bad defense
Zeke,
in their coffee.
You got to stop what they have that they do well, and that's run the football with Zeke. You stack the box on Zeke, and you just stuff him, right? Then what do you have to worry about? Gallup, Randall Cobb? No. Amari Cooper, the superstar receiver out there, who, if we leave one-on-one, look what we did with him. Devontae Adams burned us. Diggs burned us. Hell, even Thielen burned us. You got to stop Amari Cooper.
You are absolutely correct. In your strategy,
we're not saying you're wrong.
I completely agree with your
You
strategy.
live and die. If Gallup goes off for 8 catches on 102 yards and 2 touchdowns,
Max,
we tried. All right,
we're not arguing that. We completely agree with you. Any dumb fool who doesn't even know a thing about football but look at stats will be able to come up with that strategy.
So
we're not debating that. The debate is whether or not this coaching staff will actually do it.
That's a fair point.
That is the problem.
And I'll tell you what, right now, that's a good point. Because
Week in
Jim
and week
Schwartz,
out. Week in and week
who
out.
knows?
He comes in with the same scheme, the same strategy, same single high. Oh my goodness. And then the press conference irritated me when they talked about that one touchdown, and they were talking about how, and Doug said that on that play it was supposed to be 4 quarters. 4 quarters, let me break this down to y'all. 4 quarters is basically like, it's a cover 4. So that's that 2 corners and the 2 safeties, they're all playing deep. Why the hell are the safeties in the box?
Listen, I
can understand maybe one safety guarding the crosser across the middle of the field, but why are both the safeties up?
I could see us sitting on this show next week and we could be talking about a whole different discussion.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm bringing up trade options. I'm going to sit down and try to think about the future of this team if we were to lose this game. Also, if we win this game, because that changes things a little bit as well. So next week's show is going to be big because we're going to have to sit here and decide, listen, which direction are we going in? Are we going to go in on this season? Are we going to go trade for that Jalen Ramsey? Or are we going to fall back and say, hey, listen, what do we have to trade? What can we afford to lose, right? We can afford to trade Ertz, in my opinion. I think we can get maybe a 2 and a 4. And there you go. You got to hit on the picks. Listen, you find diamonds in the rough. Tyreek Hill later on in the rounds. Juju fell to the 2nd round. There's guys all over the place.
This
Alvin
current management
Kamara, 4th round pick.
This current management
3rd round pick. So you have to be able to hit on these picks, and that's what makes a great organization
You understand what I'm saying to you?
get elevated up to the Super Bowl type of atmosphere, to this type of Super Bowl level that we know we can be. Because here's the positive thing: we have a superstar quarterback, right?
We do.
The players that we put around him aren't going to have any trouble. He's a great guy. He's got great work ethic. He's everything you want in a quarterback.
You know what's crazy?
Now you got to build around him. Alshon Jeffrey's old. He's old. He cannot get away from guys anymore. And listen, he can't. He's injured a lot. His knees are banged up a lot. he can't go up and get those 50-50
You know
balls.
what's crazy? Speaking of Carson Wentz, this was the first game on the field that I physically seen him get frustrated. This is the very first game I have seen.
I'll say this is the second game I ever saw him get frustrated. The other one I remember is last year against the Saints when we got blown out 48-0.
Yeah, but the level of frustration that he had on Sunday,
holy crap,
he might have said some choice words that we're saying on this show today.
He's trying so hard with what he has, and he just doesn't have anything to help him.
Yeah, because he has this as players.
Oh, you piece of Swiss cheese!
He's got a horrible offensive line.
That works.
Right? And I'll say this. Lane's played it well for the most part. Brooks, Kelsey hasn't played well, in my opinion. And Peters has been a real problem. That left side has been a problem. We never really had a left guard. Wisniewski, I don't count him.
No, Wisniewski did his job.
Dude, whatever happened to him?
I think he just fell out of grace, to be honest with you.
He got cut. We brought him back.
He got cut. So good that Super Bowl year.
He just fell. I think there were reports out that Wisniewski and Jason Peters, there wasn't really a whole lot of chemistry there. So there were some issues. But that's the thing. When Wisniewski was in, you didn't have to worry about that left side.
I agree. Dillard better get a lot of reps in practice this week. Because I'm sick of having Peters come in, play 2 snaps, and then, my foot's sore. And he goes out and sits, and all I say to him is this: clap. Let's all clap and cheer on our team on the sideline. No, seriously, what is he here for? I don't know what he's here for. Because all he does is go, and it got like 6 trainers looking at him, and he's got a back problem. Just get Dillard out there and have Dillard get experience this season, man, because he's going to be our future left tackle.
Hey, speaking of bad management, if you don't mind me changing lanes here.
Go ahead.
The Phillies fired Gabe Kapler.
T.
Yep.
They fired Kapler. What do you think?
It's about damn time.
That's what I think.
That I didn't actually watch the press conference of John Middleton, Matt Klentak, and Andy
McPhail.
McPhail, thank you. All I know is that
from what I heard,
they are all going in different directions.
I was about to say, because from what I heard, because I didn't watch it, 100% of it either, but all I heard was that it was a show.
Yeah, they do not seem to be, because apparently Matt Klentak had no intentions of getting rid of Gabe Kapler. He wanted to keep him around. John Middleton was like, nah, screw that. We're getting rid of Gabe Kapler.
You dumbass.
And Andy McPhail's like, hey, I'm just here for a paycheck.
Dude, Okay.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Any manager who sees that is like, that does not look attractive to.
Because
that guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Chris,
What?
no one knows what the hell they're doing. No one has any idea. John Middleton is the owner. The owner's supposed to sit up in his little box in his little tower and point the fingers around, right? He wants to get his fingerprints on this team, right? He literally said, quote, I don't want to sit like a potted plant in the corner. Like, he wants
You
to be
understand
involved.
what I'm saying to you?
He's hiring guys that are supposed to do a great job for him, and then he's like, wait, T, I don't agree with your decision. I'm going to override you, even though I hired you to do the job.
Bunch of
Even though I
lowlifes.
hired you to do the job, I'm still going to override your decision, right? Here's the problem.
An asinine thing, to be honest.
They're not gonna. All the names you're hearing, Girardi, Madden. We're not hiring any of those superstar managers. What do you think they're going to? First of all, what do you think they want to come here? They got to compete with the Braves and the Nats for the next 10 years. We're going to be in third. Even the Mets with Pete Alonso, we're going to be in third and fourth place.
Hey, guys.
On top of that, they want a yes man, right? Kapler was a yes man. Clentac, even if we get Showalter,
All these guys are not yes men. All the Dusty
that's
Baker
my
too.
point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But listen, they
Yeah.
don't
Hey,
have
Guys,
any leverage.
Real quick before you continue on. So Tanner just texted us and said the first thing he heard when he turned on the radio was that Max could burn any of our corners. So shout out to Tanner, under the weather. But, you know.
Feel better, man.
Listen, Chris, continue what you were saying about the
No,
Phillies.
okay, so yeah, any manager who has a head on their shoulders is going to see this situation in Philadelphia and going to be like,
That is blasphemous.
exactly.
Anyone they
Stephen A.
interview, they're probably going to ask, okay, what are the future plans?
We definitely okay. As far as what I think, and what I think does not really count too much, but we need a guy who has experience, who has games under their belt as a manager.
A baseball mind, not an analytical mind.
No, yeah, exactly. Like, that's why when I hear like Dusty Baker is apparently interviewing for the job, I would like a guy like that. A guy who has a lot of games as far as managing. He has a winning record as a manager. That is the exact kind of guy. We need a polar opposite of Gabe Kapler. We need a guy who's going to be a hard ass on these players and not going to pat them on the back and say,
I
oh,
agree,
it's okay.
but
and
the
deliver
front
this.
offense, front office is not on the same page.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying.
And the manager won't have any leverage. So here's the problem: when Dusty Baker walks in, he's going to trot on in there. He's got his briefcase in his hand. He's going to sit down and be like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" And they're going to say, "Listen, Dusty, you're going to do whatever the hell I say when I say it." And he's going to be like, "What? I've been to a World Series before. How many World Series have you been to?"
What's in Dusty?
And then Clint is going to be like, "I don't care what you have to say. You're gonna do all this analytical business, and you're just going to sit there and shut up about it." And Dusty Baker's going to say, "Haha, F you," and he's going to walk out. And then they're going to hire some no name you never heard of, right? We're gonna seriously, listen. We're going to hire a guy we've probably never heard of or know nothing about. And then Clint and Middleton are going to sit there.
Dusty
Let me finish. Let me finish. It was a figure of speech. Listen, let me finish this. So then they're going to sit down at the press conference when they hire this new guy, and they're going to say, "Oh, this guy's great for the job. He's got a great work ethic, and he's probably going to be like a Gabe Kapler 2.0."
I literally saw something that said Chase Utley might be.
We should have cleaned house. All right, we should have fired Clentac. We should have fired our manager, which we did, and just clean house whatsoever. Right now we're split in half. Right now we don't even have a plan. At least Clentac and Kapler together had a plan. It was a horrible plan, but at least they had one. Now the manager and the GM, if we hire a veteran guy like a Showalter, like they're saying we will not be on the same page. Right, those two guys will be back and forth. So whoever they hire, maybe in the meeting they'll say, "Oh yeah, I agree, we're on the same page." But if it's a veteran guy, as the season progresses, there's going to be things that, Showalter, for example, wants that Clentac might not be willing to do.
I didn't think it was this
dumbass.
bad.
But the problem is we're in a horrible situation, right? Clentac has the biggest offseason of his life. The biggest 6 months of his life ever since he was a little baby kid running around. This is the biggest, because if he doesn't get pitching and bolster this team and not go out and spend $2 billion, right? We want to find good players.
Vargas.
We want to find good players on the cheap.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a humongous roster, right? It's a 24-man, 25-man roster.
You need to pull those.
And I'm not saying go for that, but that's a lot of analytical things. I'm not saying that, but get guys that aren't going to strike out a billion times. We need guys that are going to get on base, hit for average, not strike out a ton. And our pitching's our biggest problem. The bullpen I'm less concerned about because we had like 1 billion injuries last year. The starting rotation is more of a concern. I anticipate Eflin coming back. I anticipate Arrieta coming back and Nola there as well. We need 2 guys.
They're going to put Velasquez.
No, Velasquez in the bullpen. Pavetta, see
Crap-ass Vargas.
Pavetta, see you later. Eichhoff, see you later. We need 2 pitchers. And I don't want to go out and spend $2 million on Garrett Cole either. So don't give me that option. I want 2 guys.
I don't even think we can afford it anyway.
Well, there's no cap in baseball.
Well, but still.
I agree. We just spent $330 million last year on Harper.
Yep.
We don't want to spend $210 on
When
Garrett
you
Cole.
don't have people coming to the games.
You want to get
buying
guys
tickets.
that are going to be a good 2-3 in a rotation behind Nola. And hopefully, with this firing our pitching coach, Nola's able to take a step forward next year, unlike this past season where he took a step back. All right, let's touch Flyers if we got time. Do we have any time?
Hell yeah, we got time.
Yeah, we got some time.
We got time. I do.
I'll start it off.
Quit yucking my yum.
It's been an interesting start to the season.
Dude.
I will admit,
Okay.
I was excited the first 2
Nobody
games.
cares about hockey, Max.
Then we go to Vancouver, and that game really hurt me because we looked like the better team, but just couldn't get the job done.
Okay, let me start off with that home opener against New Jersey was easily one of the best games I've seen in a long time.
We played a full 60 minutes.
That
It
was
really impressive.
Holy crap, that was amazing. Then again, Devils are trash. They are 0-4-2. Yeah,
we have a good team this year.
Yeah. Dude, I'm okay with overpaying Kevin Hayes because Kevin Hayes has looked
Very good.
very, very good. As far as that Vancouver game where they didn't look
A
quite
lot
as
of
good,
travel. I don't factor too much into that. They look tired. They look slow.
They did look tired. They were, 9 time zones over in Europe a week and a half ago. So I'm kind of attributing that to jet lag. And also, Travis Sanheim was literally a millimeter away from winning that game anyway.
Off the post?
With 40 seconds left in the game.
I remember that.
I'm not
That should have went
concerned.
in.
That should have went in. If that went in, we wouldn't even be saying
stupid.
oh, well, the Vancouver game, they lost in the shootout.
Yeah, we took them to the shootout, and Vancouver was home. And listen, the Vancouver's not a horrible team. They got a couple of good players.
Dude, they are going to be really good,
Yeah,
I think.
And now that we're out on the West Coast now, we got a couple days here to gather ourselves. We got Edmonton tonight, who is dangerous. Calgary tonight. I'm
We
sorry.
got Edmonton
and
in a couple days.
Edmonton in a couple days.
Which, those are both good. Edmonton's undefeated. No, they lost last night.
And Edmonton is, but it's still, but McDavid, that team is very good. And also, you look at Calgary, they still got Johnny Gaudreau. But the Calgary is good, and this is a big West Coast trip for us.
Oh,
we,
yeah.
We hopefully we can get a W tonight though.
Elliott's getting the start tonight too. So
that's
going to be a little.
I don't mind it. I mean, it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of miles.
It is, yeah. And Carter Hart can't do everything. Holy crap, Carter Hart and getting his first career shutout against New Jersey.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Carter Hart, he didn't have his best game against Vancouver, but.
Those goals that were scored on him, especially that first one, it's like what can you do?
I agree.
What can you do? There's nothing
that one that was flipped up off the stick and redirected into the net.
Besser barely got that anyway.
Yeah, but that was a nice goal. So,
dude, as soon as Nolan Patrick gets back,
he's got some serious problems.
He's got some serious problems. Apparently,
concussions or headaches or some migraines.
He's having it's like a migraine disorder.
Yeah,
which they're saying is treatable, and they're not expecting him to be out too outrageously long. But
he was. I was really hoping he was going to be a big piece this year, and he still could be.
He still could be if he comes back. That center depth is. I know you don't like piece. Lawton, but Lawton on the fourth line is not bad.
I agree.
You got Hayes with Giroux and Voracek, and then Couturier, Konechny, and Lindblom.
We're very good this year.
That has been the best line for the Flyers so far this year.
We are very good.
Man,
it's been fun to watch so far these first couple games.
I'm not, and Alain Vigneault. I don't know if you watch the behind the scenes thing when they go
behind the glass or whatever it's called.
It's basically like a cheap version of Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
but you can tell he is way more interactive with the players than Dave Haxtell was. Because the thing about Dave Haxtell,
he understands the players better. I feel like.
Oh, he does. The thing with Dave Haxtell, he played this weird mystery mind game. It was like, because I remember a couple of years ago he scratched Ghost, and everyone was like, "What the hell are you doing? Why are you scratching Ghost?"
Mm-hmm. It's an outrage.
It's because he's trying to send a message to Ghost without sitting there and telling Ghost what is wrong.
Yeah.
And it did not work with the players. It works sometimes with certain guys, but if you have a coach who's much more straightforward with you, like Alain Vigneault is, the players will understand you more. They are they are accepting his system, and it's a much more effective system. It's a much more aggressive system because, in the behind-the-scenes thing, it's all about speed, and speed.
Hard work too. The work ethic has to factor in. So he gets the city, which I like.
Oh yeah, and him and Kevin Hayes too, who at one point probably hated the Flyers because they were once New York Rangers. Especially Kevin Hayes, he loves the city. He's going to fit right in.
Yeah.
And
he's been playing really well so far. Do you expect a win in Calgary?
Calgary, that's going to be a tough game because Giant Gaudreau, in my opinion, is a top 5 player in the league. Matthew Tkachuk. There's so many Tkachuks.
I hate playing in Calgary. I feel like that arena is just so like one side. Like their fans are crazy.
They are crazy. That's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be easy.
Elliott's starting. I'm a little iffy right now.
Yeah, it's a little iffy. Edmonton, even though they're like 5-1, I'm expecting a win because, in all honesty, they have two players. I'll give them 2 players.
What's the Draisaitl?
Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. Dude, McDavid is just stupid
now,
good.
Are we after Edmonton? Do we come back home, or we have another?
We have a home game against Dallas.
Okay.
Which
on Saturday, I believe, right?
That's a coin flip. It could go either way.
Dallas was good last year.
Yep.
We'll see this year, though.
Yep. And I don't know beyond that.
All right, that's fair.
I'm just kind of taking it one step at a time, trying to have fun. That's why I'm not quite as miserable as T.
Hey, listen, the Phillies are in turmoil. The Eagles are just taking a nosedive into the ocean. And the Flyers and Sixers are starting up, so a couple weeks, things could turn it around.
Real quick.
Unless T, you have something to add on the Eagles about how they're going to turn this whole thing around, and we're going to the Super Bowl, and everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, I got nothing. I done lost my voice. I got absolutely nothing. All I got to say is if they don't get their together, I kid you not, I'm going to go off on this team again.
Did you happen to see Joel Farabee's first professional goal? I don't know if you saw it.
Who's he play for?
He's on the Flyers.
Never heard.
He's.
Wait, what's his last name? Is it a V?
Farabee
with the left-hander, right?
He was the first rounder.
The wrister he had.
I'll show it to you later.
All right.
Well, before we get out of here, there's a report from Brandon Lee Gouton that there's a strong possibility that Deshaun Jackson will play on Sunday against the Cowboys. At this point,
I wish it mattered, T. I wish it mattered.
It doesn't matter because unless Deshaun Jackson can cover a right
How about
receiver,
our defense? That's what I'm saying. Unless he can get out there and play defense.
I was about to say, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. It might just be like just a scoring output, but there's going to be no kind of defense played.
Who's excited for this Thursday night game? Chiefs-Broncos.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird game.
Yeah,
what the is that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, T, you want to do the whole closing
All
thing?
right, let's shut it down.
Yeah. All right. You missed any of this episode, you can always go to philly-experience.simplecast.com. We are available on all major platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, the whole 9. And as you can hear, I have no voice by the end of this show.
What are you talking about? Your voice is absolutely amazing.
It is gone.
It is gone.
It is completely gone. Well, and this is some straight up and utter
All right, everybody. Big episode next week. Tune in.
Let's go.
You make me sick.
We know it's hard.
What the is that? Pull your head out of your ass! We're going backwards, damn it. Let's go.